the most important questions. How is it seeing yourself with blonde eyebrows, and did that hairdo give you a headache?
Yes, and it was weird. I had to bleach them, and I looked crazy, like insane when I came back from the hotel, because we shot in Wales and in London, but I come back home after the day of shooting, and like my hair is like so tight, and it's like white, and I have no eyebrows, and I come back to the hotel, and I look like an alien, like crazy. Sometimes I'd pencil them in so that like darken them, like when I had a day off or something, so I didn't look like an alien.
How did you get involved with this to begin with? Like, you read a script like that, and I mean, you're essentially playing two characters, so what's going through your mind?
I loved it. I worked my last film that I did was called The Pact, with the same producers, like Jamie Carmichael. They did this film as well, so they reached out to me and told Crad, the director, and showed him my stuff and put us in contact, and so they sent me the script, and for me it was like, sweet, this is a great opportunity to get to play two different characters, and then one of them to design it completely, like how does she walk, how does she stand, how does she speak, does she blink, how does she breathe, how does she communicate, and it's really fun to get something like sink your teeth into.
Did you have to do any research yourself, both to play Ava and like know what you're talking about, and then also to embody the machine and kind of understand how it works to a point?
I did. I read up on it a lot. Well, it's just really interesting stuff anyway, so it's fun to learn about. But I wanted to see, kind of what was going on with like cybernetics and different all the robotic technology and how they're pushing forward with it, and all the like futurists and like just kind of what they think is going to happen and what's already happening, what they're getting close to doing. It's crazy. So that helped me, like just reading about it, kind of knowing that world. And with the machine, I mean, I was kind of free reign to do what I want with her, because she was, one doesn't exist yet, so get to make your own.
Is there anything that you read during your research that like you specifically wanted to put in either character, like maybe an idea that you kept with you?
I don't know about from what I read. I think like the biggest part was just that, like with emotions, like the machine has to learn how to match her face, because I figured I wanted it to be where it wasn't innately like expressions, that she had to learn expressions. Like the machine feels things, but she doesn't know how to express it. So I wanted to make it where she's happy, she has to learn how to like smile, or if she's sad, or what you're supposed to do with your face to convey emotions so that other humans understand.
It's crazy too, because her face, like, regardless of emotion, it feels like as an actor you might like twitch in a certain way, or like see a muscle move, and like you really don't.
That's the hardest part. Even some of the times where I'm supposed to just be completely still, I'm like holding my breath, like for like a 5-minute take, and I'm just like not breathing, and you're dying, and trying not to like move at all. It's really hard, and not blinking. And
is that something you're practicing in the mirror?
I definitely had to practice in the mirror, for sure. Yeah.
And can you tell me a little bit about the rehearsal process? He was telling me that you guys had 5 days before.
Did we? I don't remember. Did we have 5 days before? Maybe. I don't remember. I have a terrible memory.
Do you like to rehearse, or are you more comfortable kind of, jumping in and feeling out the situation for yourself?
It depends. If the writing is there and like the writing's not going to change, then I don't need to rehearse. But if it's a scene they're still working it out and kind of figuring out what it is, then I like to rehearse, so that it's not like learning the lines today like on set. I prefer to like really get it in so I can just play. But no, I don't need a lot of rehearsals. I like, because sometimes I feel like if I go all out in the rehearsal, you'll never have those moments again. You don't recreate moments, so it's like that was the one time it's ever happening. Let's get it on film. And
how about prep right before a scene? Do you have any preset rituals that you need to do?
No, it just depends on the scene, what emotional place that I need to be at. If it's something more emotional, then sometimes I go recluse mode, not talk to anybody, and or listen to music, whatever gets you in the mood. But most of the time, if it's just a regular scene, just playing it, you're just in it, by being there.
Was it tough to keep track of stuff? Because I heard you didn't shoot in order, so the human stuff and the machine stuff are kind of mixed together?
Yeah, we went back and forth, which is hard. It's hard because just the makeup in alone.
Did you have to keep re-dyeing your eyebrows?
Well, what we do is I had to keep re-bleaching them because then they grow out. And I have to we like bleached my hairline too, but we couldn't bleach my whole head. We wanted the hair white, but I had to go back and forth the other one. And like the machine takes like at least 2 hours because I have to do full body makeup everywhere because I covered like my freckles and everything. And so going back and forth, like, because then my hair's all gelled and like painted. And so like there was a few days where I had to do both characters in one day, which was hard. And then I'm like trying to remember, like, how do I stand? How is my posture? My face? What was my voice?
How about your relationships with the other characters that you're interacting with too? Because like you kind of got to flip the switch and be like friendly, normal person, and then machine brain.
Yeah, it's just I don't. It's like the machine is such a strong character. It actually was. I guess it was pretty easy switching back and forth because once I'm in machine mode, like I just have to find it. It takes me a second to get the voice and like the posture, but as soon as I'm there, it's like it's easy to just be in the character.
And being in machine mode, it seems to require some dancing and stunt work abilities. Do you have a background in that?
Yeah. I started as a dancer. I've danced since I was 7 years old. I'm still a dancer. I love dancing. And I started doing martial arts too. I trained in like some Muay Thai and kind of Taekwondo. Like just dabbled in everything. I started doing Krav Maga and a lot of stunt fighting, which is kind of completely different than regular fighting. But with dance, it helps because it's choreography. It's like remembering it's a dance, but looking like tough like when you do it. So it's fun. I really like doing the action stuff. So
did you get to develop any of that choreography yourself?
Well, stunt coordinators always work with what you're good at it. So, you know, they ask me like, what kind of kicks do you feel comfortable with? What kind of, you know, they tailored it to like the style of martial arts that I know. And, you know, there's certain things where I'm like, oh, I can do this cool move, you know, and then they'll throw it in there.
Is there anything you're particularly proud of? Like when you saw the movie, a scene you love?
I'm just really proud of the machine character. Like that whole character, it was just a lot of work. And I was nervous about it because, I mean, anytime you make like big choices, it's a chance for it to be like really bad or really good. And I feel like I'm happy with how it came out. And yeah, so.
And how was it seeing it all cut together? Because there's a lot of VFX work here too.
Yeah, well, I thought the effects were amazing. This is the first time I saw the film was last night at the premiere, and I thought it looked really good. I was really like, yeah, they did good with all the CGI and stuff. So it was cool seeing everything all cut together. It was weird, like just like finally seeing this thing and how it came out.
What did it look like on set? Are you imagining a lot of stuff, or was there some practical elements to work with?
I mean, anytime there's CGI, yeah, you're imagining, like, I'm looking at a quantum computer, but there's nothing there. Or, like, looking down onto, like, a giant base, and it's like there's nothing. So sometimes, like, yeah, but a lot of times there was, you know, we worked off stuff that wasn't all imaginary or anything.
How was it, like, swishing around the computer screens? Like, I guess they have to match it to your motion.
They do, and that's the thing that was hard, because I wanted them to tell me exactly what they needed, you know, like, go like this and this and this, but they're like, just do like 5 things and we'll match it. And so I'm like, I don't know futuristic hand computer movements, you know, so I'm like, I do this with my iPhone, like, how do we do this? Like airplane modes. That was cool because after the premiere, like the audience had so many questions, which is great because then it means, you know, they're invested in it and they care. It's a really good sci-fi movie. Like when I watched it, I was like, because I love sci-fi, and like Crad hit it, you know, like that is a sci-fi movie, and I think for sci-fi fans they're gonna really like this film. And it's just interesting. It asks us, you know, brings up a lot of questions of where we're going and technology and if it's the right way or the wrong way. But mostly I think it's you know, you can't stop progress. Like all this stuff is going to happen. Even if you try to make it illegal, you try to say no, you can't clone, no, you can't do this, people will do it. It's gonna happen. So we just have to be prepared for it, and it's kind of, you know, the film hints at like the extinction of the human race, or will we work together with this, or we'll see.
And now, what's next for you? Are you? I hear the Pact 2, actually. Is that shooting soon?
They are doing the Pact 2. I'm meeting with the writers and stuff. Ross Dienerstein, the producer, asked me to help out with it. I might make a little cameo, but I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna be the lead of the film. My next movie I have coming out is called Battle of the Year. Comes out in September, and there I get to use my dance background. It's about breaking, so it's like best b-boys in the world. Big 3D. It'll be out everywhere. It's gonna be a cool, fun movie, and. I'm working with the guys that did the Pact, Ross Dienerstein. We're developing another movie, a thriller, like a really cool one for like a concept that I came up with, and so it should be fun, and some other stuff hopefully will be coming out soon.
Do you have interest in that end of the business at all? You know, writing your material?
Yeah, well I already kind of have been dabbling into producing, and I mean, it's awesome for an actor to be able to create your own opportunities. I think it's really important that people should do it. And, you know, I met with Ross, I had lunch with him, and he was like, yeah, we should do another film. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I'll think of something. And, like, I just wrote a treatment, and I sent it to him, like, a week later. And he's like, yeah, I love it. Let's do it. And I'm not really, like, a writer, so we'll get, like, a professional writer that can hammer it away. But you get to design, like, an amazing role, like, something like The Machine is such a fun thing to play, and I just want stuff that it's like challenging, you know.